These are fucking wet, dude. Got coffee and everything. I forgot to say that live stream's started. Yes, good morning. Welcome back to The Collective. It is Wednesday. Okay, I was blanking for a second. Wednesday, October 8th. Sorry, I kind of cut you off.
It's all good. Wednesday, no news
Well,
until this afternoon.
yes, a little bit of FOMC meeting minutes. Not that high impact. Talking about high impact, here's open. We get this SMT at this high. I guess it would be with this one too.
Expecting
It's two-staged.
this to be like Tuesday high of the week. We manipulated the previous week's high, formed SMT, got the 4-hour change in state with a 4-hour for value gap. Last night opened up, traded higher into the 4-hour gap, consolidated. So now just looking for the reversal to trade the daily expansion lower. Not going to consider longs.
Very valid. I I also won't consider longs at all. Like some other days when you're trading at all-time highs, it's 50-50 bias. Today's 100% shorts for me. So I want that to be the high of the week. It's Tuesday, right? I put that in right at 9 a.m. If we saw something close to that in terms of like manipulation, would be cool. But
So ES got the manipulation of the pre-market high, formed SMT with NQ, and is now flipping bearish. YM is also getting a good move lower.
NQ is actually running the highs up,
Yeah.
which it was weird because NQ was more bearish before.
Still have SMT there, but
It might take the 4-hour high. It might take the previous 4-hour high, or the current 4-hour high, I should say. Got real close to it. So
okay, there, yeah, took it. Yeah. I do not want to see it take the
it's
previous
there.
4-hour candle
It's
high, though.
pretty much there, man. I think it's what, 2 points away.
It's close. Okay,
Took
it. So now there's no SMTs at the highs.
That's fine. We hit that. We're gonna hit that maybe 50%. It's not a bad retracement in my opinion. I don't mind the rally higher because I'm just classifying this as a Judas swing. When you have a clear bias, the things will work together a little bit easier. So I can take this and I could just say, well, any rally higher, that's my manipulation. And then I'm going to look at, well, now it's not so much an SMT with a swing high, but it's just the correlation between how they're moving, right? So NQ weaker relative to like when we took Asia low and then we were holding weaker right before open, but NQ is getting a manipulation on open, trading, kind of catching up to where ES already retraced to. And then if we can see them all work together and flip lower, I won't expect anything to hold one of them back.
So we are almost at the previous day's equilibrium.
So we've got this 15-minute fair value gap, and we've got the graded 1-hour fair value gap. That is what I was looking at. What is this? London's high, ticked 25% of it. In my notes, in my pre-market notes and my walkthrough that I do, I said to rally to the 50-minute fair value gap and trade to equilibrium is fine as long as that is the Judas swing, of course. But the thing that I'm looking at is I have no way for me to even be bullish. I don't want to be bullish. So anything to the upside, I'll miss out on willingly, looking for the shorts here. When you're in this consolidation, you have the large expansion, you get the consolidation, you want the manipulation to then get the continuation. Everybody knows that. It's how we learn to trade. So, ES is rejecting here. NQ got that 50%. Golden now.
And we'll see if we can flip here.
It's pretty aggressive to flip, though. It's cool. It'd be nice. 55 point. It's going to be the inversion. So if you get a good, nice premium trade here, we'll be looking at. Oh, I should totally give the sell side objectives. Well, of course, we look at the previous day's low. I didn't even mark that out, but that's going to be target number 1. And close in terms of proximity, it's the closest.
And then the low from Friday.
And then Friday's low.
Yeah.
The daily intermediate term low as it rebalanced that daily imbalance. I can pull it up. This one. And then the previous weekly low sitting a good 493 points lower. That's a little bit aggressive. I marked that one out just in case. But 493 points is quite a long way. I could hold one micro there and make $1,000. So how realistic is that? Okay, I'm actually considering this first inversion. Isn't that funny? I'm actually considering this very first inversion. That's a valid inversion play. Well, the other one, the lower one, is the first presented fair value gap. But we're looking at ES right now, and ES is just flushing. Like ES, I should mark out all the sell side objectives on ES so I can refer to them on NQ too. That's not okay. Okay, I'm getting in light size on this first inversion, and then I'm going to add as we go lower. I'm averaging in. Didn't get the inverse, I'm not in there. Oh, no, that's long.
NQ's going to form a 5-minute gap here in 3 minutes. If we continue to kind of hold this area, so that could be an inversion.
Still doing what I said, where I'm going to get in light size if it's getting this good inversion here. It once again didn't get it. Another candle. Okay, now I'm going to wait for it to displace a little bit lower. ES is flipped, man. That's so weird. So we had a little bit of I wouldn't call it, I would just say strength shift, as in NQ was weaker, now it's more bullish. We're looking at ES. ES has gone right down from open to that 8 a.m. sell side, which is this one, which is the current 4-hour low. So ideal scenario, we're seeing this 6 a.m. 4-hour candle reverse here. I wouldn't want it to look as though it was bullish, which obviously it kind of is at the moment. Looking at YM. YM and ES are definitely bearish. I would say YM's bearish for sure. That's a big 15-minute candle. I need to pull that up for the live stream. That is just aggressive. Look at that 15-minute candle. Look at that. 220 points. ES kind of following. Leaving equal lows. That's something I want to watch here. Leaving them equal lows. I got to remove this SMT though. That SMT is no longer there. So I suppose if NQ got an internal sweep, we'd have a form of SMT. And then if NQ got a change in state and inversion. Looking at seeing the aggressive drop. Looking at the 6 a.m. low. Frickin' London's low. Previous day's low.
Fully YM.
Dude, I know. I just said that. I said that
That's
15
crazy.
candle is wicked.
Yeah.
And I just don't know how NQ isn't moving.
That's crazy.
Just trying to find the high here on NQ. I'm trying to pick the smart money reversal and soup it. Feels like you could take this internal sweep. I've got good expectations for today's trading day. 100% clear bias. Good targets. Manipulation. Obvious manipulation right now. Now we just need the confirmation, and it would be beautiful.
We traded to the previous day's equilibrium. We also just tapped the 4-hour change in state from yesterday.
We also are going to close a new 15-minute candle in 5 minutes here, so I want to see that.
I wouldn't want to see any higher than here. This retracement to that 4-hour order block is plenty.
I'll just watch it run higher today. If it's running higher, I'll watch it run higher.
Well, I think you should flip right here now. That if it's gonna reverse, it would reverse off this. It wouldn't go any higher.
You know when you start tingling about a trade, like the spidey sense of trading. You know that?
Yeah. You can feel something's coming here.
Or it's too much coffee. I don't know. Maybe I've had too much coffee, but. Just to clarify, bearish bias, we're looking for shorts. What we've had off of open is a rally higher, which I'm classifying as a Judas swing. So now looking for internal confirmation. For bearish PD raid, 4-hour fair value gap, 4-hour change in state or / order block. Hourly fair value gap, the daily previous day's equilibrium, which is this black line that we're just at right now, which is also the 50% of the hourly imbalance. And then that purple line is the 15-minute fair value gap, which is the fair value at equilibrium. Looking for the premium to discount on other terms, accumulation, manipulation, distribution, and in line with a 10 a.m. expansion, continuing yesterday's movement. On the daily, I'm expecting the daily bearish change in state. There's a lot of overlapping things for this trade. Holy frick, I tested 2 here just to start with the position on that inversion. I will be adding with the further confluences here. I forgot the Hogue audio pack. I tried it out.
Oh yeah.
Oh, that's nice. So this is just based off of that first inversion. It's a little bit more aggressive entry, but it's not full size. It's less than half size. Just gonna break the ice in the trade here, expecting this to be the reversal. Oh, I should. Yeah, so I'm in two micros there, from 29.25. This is definitely high expectation for reversal here. Definitely got a high expectation. I'm going to mark that first presented fair value gap out. I'm probably going to be adding a lot more once we're inversing that.
I'm going to be watching that 5-minute gap.
That's the same as that first presented fair value gap. So just with these 2 contracts alone, I'm going to let them go to the previous day's low. Just these 2. But I'm going to add in and trade the heavier sized position better. And how I'm going to do that is this position will be trailed to break even once I'm in on the other one. As in, like, the stop loss for the next position will be aligned with kind of the break even for this one, hopefully. Then I'll be looking to take those ones off at the session lows and the previous day's low. Oh, this is way below the previous day's low. We got the I've got Friday's low marked up as the TP. Okay, I'm gonna change that. That was accidental. Ah, you know what? I'll leave them there because that will be the running, but I'll definitely be partialing at that previous day low. If I can get the full position in here. So we have taken that low. There's SMT with the low, that the 8 a.m. low, which is the 4-hour low. Forming kind of a swing high here. So I guess what would the next kind of thing I could look for is that change in state. Also just ES displacement, I guess, to try and pull NQ here. It's funny because NQ was weaker coming into the morning, flipped a little bit more bullish. So this is a new 15-minute candle. So I want to see it. I guess it would be an engulfment of the previous candle. That's what I'm looking for.
ES is still in its consolidation. Not really displacing through the lows. I'm gonna keep an eye out and see if ES can get that 4-hour change in state at 10 a.m. Still have about 15 minutes here.
Okay, that starter position's looking like most likely a stop loss there. Well, we're looking at ES, the 6 a.m. low, 6 a.m. 4-hour low, SMT hasn't actually flipped yet, and ES is rallying. So definitely waiting, looking at a potential seek and destroy or double purge. I guess we take the low, take the high. This is ES, and then drop lower.
YM's got a pretty strong move off of or retracement, I guess. Didn't really take anything. Just off that displacement leg, getting a strong reaction.
Yeah, so if we go if we go above the hourly gap, I'm gonna go out and say that there's no trading for me today. Or I guess outside of that starter position, there's no more trading. I could have left that just as a full position anyway and had a very generous TP, but I would have added with the confirmation. So hoping that we are getting some form of down movement once ES takes this internal high. Otherwise, it is looking more bullish than I want. It's already too high for me, I think. Like it's kind of ran through what I would have wanted to see and where I would have wanted to see it reverse. What I'm going to monitor is something that fits in line with the recent price action when we have 9:30 to 10 expansion, or like a little bit more of aggressive move, get a good amount of movement point wise. Do we consolidate after 10? Right? We have been, but I kind of want to test it out today. So let's theorize that this is the high here. Then to look for the reversal, I'm seeing the up leg we just had be engulfed, and that's the manipulation leg in my opinion. If it were to displace lower, running through everything off of that internal sweep would be very good. ES is getting a little bit of a reaction off of that high.
Yeah, the 5-minute order block on NQ looks good. If we get a change in state and that inversion, that would be nice.
I'm just marking out the 2-minute inverse. But like with good displacement, that would be the trade.
Yeah.
If it's a 2-minute inverse, but it's just shallow, it's just like a barely closing below it. I'm not going to take that away for the 5-minute. But if we're getting the 2-minute inverse kind of where my fill price would be, like with my anticipated, with my drawing here, my trade tool, whatever you call it, then I'll be entering. It's got 30 seconds. Though. I don't know if it's going to get that 2-minute inverse this candle.
I'm gonna wait for 10 a.m. I want to see how this 4-hour closes, and then possibly have a manipulation on ES to take the internal high, because it has equal highs now.
Those are equal?
I would like to see NQ flip bearish though and leave the high, and then we have a bearish SMT.
Those are equal. So ES does have a little bit of equal highs, like you said. To see that ran out and then drop lower would be interesting. It can leave them though. It does leave that quite a bit and then run lower. Like it did trade. You have to think about this. It did. If you were talking about in terms of, there's the buy stops there. Well, we've taken them, except for the ones above the high, but that would be majority of them at the wick and the rejection block and the mean. The most volume, I guess, is there. That's kind of what I'm looking at. So looking for my my A+ trade here, which is just entry model. It's going to be this 2-minute inverse aligned with that 5-minute change in state look. And ES displacing lower if ES was to inverse its 2-minute as well. So I will sit on the 2-minute. But it would need to be good displacement, like real good displacement. It's weird how bullish NQ is.
Yeah, I would want to see the 10 a.m. reversal. If it doesn't happen early into the 4-hour candle, then not gonna be a trade probably.
So with just how we're moving right now, most likely waiting till 10 a.m. like you just said.
I also don't want to see this 4-hour get inversed. We are close to inversing it.
We are, hey. We do have SMT at the daily intermediate term low down there. But in my opinion, to reverse from what we did yesterday, seemed unlikely.
I still think we'll see lower.
It's one of them days where it's a very deep retracement, but it catches up. So it's actually a really high expectation for point movement. We have the internal sweep there. I guess if NQ were to start working lower as it comes into 10 a.m. ES on the 2 minutes kind of holding that imbalance there. You can see just by those wicks.
YM is going to get the 5-minute order block as well. Bearish off that retracement that we got.
There's no wick on that candle right there. Okay, there we go. I find it very weird that we wanted to trade this premium if we were bearish. Because it is very premium. I mean, we got that nice 15-minute fair value gap in premium. We're still holding. If we look at it on the 15-minute, because of that healthy displacement leg from yesterday, it's not horribly premium, and it looks like as long as we're holding this 15-minute, as long as we hold this, it's good. You know, and if it just runs, it might be one of them days where you have a wrong bias, which is fine today. I would be fine with being wrong on the bias today.
Imagine NQ runs to all-time highs.
I wouldn't give a shit. I
For
just
this, what is it, 6th day in a row?
well, it would be 6 days in a row, yes. If it wanted to continue the streak of taking all-time highs out, it would be, I'd miss the trade. I wouldn't catch anything, and I would be fine not doing that.
NQ is slowing down though, which is nice. Like on the 5-minute chart, like it's not having super strong candles. Like the last candle was a little wicky. I really don't want to see that 4-hour get inverse.
No, you don't, obviously. It'd be a confliction. Trading really high through it.
3 minutes till the closure.
Boys, there might not be a trade today. We have taken the liberty of fully filling that hourly fair value gap and starting to get above it as well. Might be one of them days where the bias is wrong. If somebody could tell me why it rallied today, all years, but definitely
The only thing
maintained
is
their
S&P the
bias.
lows.
That's
That
not
is
even
it.
like. It's just one of those days where it just goes up. But look at ES. ES is not even at opening price.
ES hasn't moved. YM's dumping. NQ's pumping. So it's just all decoupled.
Yeah, well, NQ's definitely decoupled here, doing God knows what. Okay, so what we'll do, nothing's going to be taken for the next 15 minutes, that's for sure. We're waiting. Now that we've pushed this high, and we're going to be inversing, most likely, inversing the 4-hour, ES is taking those internal highs, so we're watching how we react off of that. What we would need to see is a nice displacement, like confirming a reversal. At this point, it is very high and seeming like it's pretty unlikely to get the reversal. Yes, we are still trading within the 4-hour order block there. But inversing the 4-hour imbalance to the upside, displaying that much expansion, 100 points off of open, very clean. You can clearly see it's bullish, is not bearish. We've got 50 seconds, so if we could hold that 4-hour, it would be interesting. But no surprises here if we just keep running then the wrong bias off the rip here. Then that hourly and 4-hour did not hold. And I don't see a trade. It's funny because ES is still like pretty much at opening price. Okay, ES is still at opening price. Funny.
10 seconds and Enki's going to inverse his 4 hour. 4, 3. Yeah, we're going to inverse it.
Yep.
So 4 hour got inversed.
Does that mean I'm bullish? No. No, I don't flip bullish just off of it being inversed. It requires a little bit more than that for me because of the higher time frame structure. Now it would be, quite a bit of a stretch to see that entire leg engulfed. But still what I'm looking for. We have ES taking those internal highs.
Traded to the premium hourly gap.
Still bearish. Still bearish. I'll be bearish until it takes the all-time highs, and then I won't trade. Because one good thing about that, you have a one-sided bias. As long as you've got a high enough entry criteria, you're not going to take the wrong trade. You won't even get a trade if your bias is wrong. That's unfortunate. So many ISD traders trying to short today at Pump the Market.
YM's retracing to that 4 hour order block.
Didn't get
So
that
we'll
5-minute
see.
change in the state then. I'll put some music on my headphones and just sit back and relax because it's going to be a long one.
Yeah, if 10 AM doesn't reverse like immediately, I won't be taking a trade today. Okay, so YM traded into that 4 hour order block. ES traded into its breaker on the 4 hour as well.
Oh wow, yes. When it got through the high, it broke through the high pretty
Yeah,
aggressively.
ripped it.
That makes sense. Could do live streams on X. Probably get more views live streaming on Twitter.
Yeah, maybe.
No, you would. Actually, now that I think about it, I've got more followers on Twitter, and then it just pops up in people's feeds. Like they're forced to see it. It's not like a YouTube where it's like just a thumbnail. They're forced to watch it already. And if it pops up,
Put that 15-minute gap on YM.
maybe we should just start streaming on all three of our medias, all three of the Twitters. So this could be 10 a.m. reversal here at 10:06. I would need to see, a sequence of about.
I would need a lot of displacement lower.
I'm gonna have to write off shorts, I think, today. We would need to get below 10 a.m. opening price for me to be bearish.
Honestly, for me, I would need to see this 11 o'clock or this 10 o'clock candle close, and then wait for the 11 o'clock. But this 10 o'clock candle would have to close super bearish for me. But it just doesn't look like it.
Dodgy shorted YM.
Really? Never seen him do that.
Well, because you saw how clean it was moving recently. And then as soon as he trades it, he gets stopped out. That's funny. I'm gonna be honest, it's pretty hard to be bearish when you come this close to all-time highs.
Did you see that? Oh, how much though? 4 million? Yeah. Oh shit. It's a steal. Yeah, okay, looks 6.5 right now. 3 or 4 mil. Yeah. Also, team now. Yeah. Like if everybody that signs takes a cut, fucking boost it. I wonder if he did that because of the well. But here's the thing, right? What's the payout even? It's actually this year. It actually helps with next year. Okay, I see. Okay. Be a little bit tight this year. Yeah. Okay. I should let them know when they come next year. What are the odds are? I'll look. Oh, I should just blind 2 to the fucking all-time highs on the eval. AST at 66% up. Just follow.
going to be a very disappointing live stream. It's funny because every day that every day I usually come in with a split bias where I'm like, you know, I will be bullish if this happens. Today I could not have one of those, and it's fun. It's funny. It's the only day that it rips.
So it's a 800 plus 800. Plus 800 for each 100 you bet, you get 800. So 8x.
This year and next year.
This year.
Oh, I'm not sure.
So what I'm doing is I'm not going to aggressively short. So like the first down move that we have, it's not a short opportunity, just because of how bullish we have.
I don't think this is no longer shorts. This is. I don't think I'm going to take a long just because it's.
Here's the
not
thing:
really aligned with.
you can't be bearish the entire time up until the top and then flip bullish and then it done.
No, but I mean, I just don't think I'm going to long. But we do have the SMT at the lows. I don't like the consolidation that we had initially, but I guess YM did manipulate the lows on that strong down move, and now it's trading into its 50-minute. I guess this will be a telltale here. YM holds that 15-minute gap,
This is just the manipulation.
but this is a large range for NQ to revert, back down
It's
for-
just the manipulation.
like from the open.
It's just the manipulation. It's only 140 points. From there, it's like 150.
From the open, it's 180 points almost.
Okay, I thought you were talking about 930 open. From 930, it's 140. That damn SMT held at 8 a.m. sell side. The 6 a.m. 4-hour low. Just sitting and waiting. Now it's I don't know. It becomes really hard to trade after you get large expansions like that. What did we say? After 10 a.m., if it just chops, it's kind of characteristic of recent price action. I would be so surprised if it managed to reverse from here,
That would be a crazy reversal.
and I would be in on it.
I would be in later maybe, but the only thing I'm looking at here is so Nasdaq's trading into that 5-minute fair value gap, and YM is still above it. So if NQ, I wouldn't take a trade. This is just too premium. It's not aligned with what I wanted to see. But if NQ delivers out of this and we have the SM2 at the 5-minute gap, YM would now be the stronger asset to look to trade higher. But I'm still not gonna take any longs. If one can deliver off this 50-minute, if NQ can start, there's just so much displacement for me to want to fade right now. We have 50-minute for value gaps. We still have SMT at the highs. This just doesn't support expansion. Right, daily opens, consolidates, fails to manipulate, and just expands higher.
Oh, baby. Short now. Oh, yeah. You know the RR to the previous day's low? Be absolutely insane to short to the previous day's low.
We're near the opening price of the 10 a.m. candle.
Yeah. I said we just hold it to the previous day. Yeah, previous day's low. It's a nice trade. 200 points lower. The problem is I do really want the reversal. And maybe that's not so much of a problem, but so 10 a.m. wick might be being put in. Obviously need a little bit more continued down movement. Can't just be one down candle. This 5-minute candle closes here. Oops. I suppose we'd wait for the 15-minute inversion. But it's funny how Dodgy would have shorted YM when Enki wasn't working with it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's the first time he's ever traded YM, hey?
Couldn't tell you that, but I just would expect with his experience to know that you don't really want to short one thing when the other one, which you usually trade is not working lower. Base most of your buys off of NQ and then go trade YM, but you don't consider NQ on the short.
Yeah, so I mean, Enki got the retracement to that 5-minute gap. YM didn't get the retracement. Formed SMT at the 5-minute gap, and then YM got the strong 3-minute closure. So see if that supports price to get through that 15-minute gap.
Had some deep at those internal highs.
Yeah.
So now NQ is back bearish again. Huh. I'll still look at shorts like it's a possibility. I'm not lying. I will let all-time highs be taken without me.
I'm gonna need need a lot more if I'm gonna be taking any shorts here.
If you were longing, you should long the opening gap. Way down there in discount.
Like those lows, I really like those lows on the 4 hour. But yeah, inversing the 4 hour, trading this close to that high is not ideal. It's not a retracement signature. And you expand 150 points without
Well,
any retracements.
Well, that's
That's not a retracement. That's an expansion.
doesn't need to be a retracement. It could be an expansion, like, and we could inverse it. So I'd want that internal SMT to hold on a 1 minute basis. Got it with ES, right? And then I guess if we were to displace below 10 a.m. opening price, I could still consider shorts, but it does seem very unlikely now. I'll just let it happen. I'll let it take all-time highs. There's nothing I could do there. The S&P's been in there. It's been there.
It's sketchy. You're taking the 2 minute?
I might smash it with you.
Is he taking it? So
And do a little bit of analysis here because we're looking at the 2 minute inverse.
you prefer it. That's a fucking sketchy.
He's up from our overnight call up. So what we're looking at is this premium hourly imbalance is still holding. We do have S&T with 1010, so the end of the macro, and then 1032, right? So what did I highlight yesterday? I said the 30-minute increments, so the mid time of every hour tends to have more volatility. So I guess that'd be 1030 to, that's really 1020 to 1040. So that's what we're looking at here. I do like this inverse, so I'm actually thinking about taking it. Good momentum. That closed, right? That was
2 minute did close.
that was the 2 minute. I'm in there.
Yeah.
Which 2 minutes?
The 2 minute fair value gap you took. It's only 2 points.
And I'm not taking longs yet. Just it's fucking 4 hour got 4 hour got inversed. I need this hourly candle to close for sure. I'd be looking at that 50-minute that 50-minute around equilibrium in this range. If that can get inversed, then I could possibly look to frame shorts.
So for this trade, my break even is at that 5-minute internal low, which is the on the 1 minute there. Yeah, so the TP too is at the 6 a.m. low.
Fuck.
No partials. It's gonna hold the entire way too. Might even have ads and stuff. So it reimbursed that 2-minute though, which is kind of crappy. Looking at the 5-minute close here, or I'd want to see the 5-minute change in state on this candle preferably, but we did not get that 5-minute change in state. We have a new 5-minute candle. Give me the banger. 10R? No, it's like 6R.
Yeah.
7R.
Are you talking about stock or problem yesterday? Is that what you're talking about?
No. I hope so. That is a 10x.
It's fucking flag.
You're gonna look at it every day for the next 2 years.
Just like watch that shit.
Yeah.
Like, is this the early entry? Yeah. Does it have a crazy RR? Also, why I'm taking it. I'm just expecting the 10 a.m. to reverse. I don't believe in the up move. I just don't. I don't think we would take all-time highs 6 days in a row betting against the NASDAQ. It is slow though. It's not moving much.
Yeah. So Wime's retracing to a 3-minute gap. I'd like to see that get inversed. Sorry, 5-minute gap. Retracing to a 5-minute gap.
Yeah. So 3 minutes and we'll potentially have this 5-minute change in state, which I am looking for. Break even's at that 1 hour level. But it's also the nice good swing low.
So
That
far, really
15
good
minute.
reaction off that 1-minute breaker. Off the SMT.
Yeah, it's decent. I am looking for the 5-minute close though, for extra confirmation. Internal SMT ES, but that's just because ES is actually flipping a little bit weaker now, and I'm expecting NQ to show its true colors here and actually sell off. So there's the internal low NQ, starting to get displacement. So expecting it to run to this internal low, seeking this 10 a.m. opening price here. On ES, that is way lower. Like ES's 10 a.m. opening price is like near the sell side here.
Yeah, it'd be nice to see NQ flip bearish and be the most bearish of the three. I like how ES is 1 15-minute for value gap and not a bunch of them.
Like NQ?
So, yeah, I'm gonna keep an eye on that.
How NQ has like 4. 1 minute and we'll look for this, or I guess 1 minute, we're looking at this 5-minute change in state. So see what we can get here. Sustain the displacement or pull some shit like it's doing right now. We'll see. We got that 1 minute fair value gap to deliver out of. So wicks into that. I guess that's also retrading into that 2-minute inverse. I would just really like that 5-minute change in state. That's pretty much the only thing I'm looking at. It's got 30 seconds. Keep that in mind. It's that black line that we're trading at right now. So if we're closing below that. So I got that change in state. This is it's kind of looking like it might be a very long trade if I'm holding it to that sell
If
side.
it goes that low, yeah, it'll be a very long trade.
It would be. It'd be nice and long.
How many micros did you go?
4 from 203. Yeah, going to break even at the low. That's at 183, 184. And I'm holding to 25,042.
Okay, so I'm trading into its 5-minute imbalance now. I want to see how we react out of here, or if we can just melt through it. If YM invalidates that 5-minute gap, I would expect that we just get the sell off. Because in my opinion, there's no other reason for YM to get a retracement.
So preferably, if it were to bucket lower to that break-even level in this 5-minute candle, and to get that 5-minute change in state on ES, it's setting up for a real bearish look. Getting to that 10 a.m. opening price. Not break even yet, didn't quite get to it. So go back to the 5-minute here. Yeah, 2 minutes, 30 seconds on the 5-minute, which I'd want ES to be getting this change in state just like NQ had. Because it's the more bullish one too, so now seeing the bearish change in state would be good.
Okay, well, I'm just getting a pretty strong reaction off that 5-minute gap. Yeah, so I'm got a change of state off of the 5-minute.
Surprised that 10 a.m. opening price hasn't been traded too
Yeah.
aggressively. So it's kind of initial target too, right? And then we've got that 15-minute imbalance right below it. And then obviously there's a lower 15-minute imbalance. And then, yeah, and sell side. The 5-minute candle closes in a minute. So ES needs to go just a few points, 2 points lower, and get that 5-minute change in state with some displacement here. I guess I'd also like NQ to get the pretty bearish close. If it could pull that off in 30 seconds, it would inverse that 5-minute gap, which I would say looks nice. 20 seconds. Looking at ES, don't think we're getting that 5-minute change state. It did not happen. I think he's got another down candle though. Okay, going to break even on NQ here. Didn't take the low. Hold on. Now I'm going to break even. It took the low, so I went to break even. That was my outline break even. And break even's at that price there, which is above the structure.
Yep.
We've tested that 5-minute change in state 3 times. I think we traded to it. Yeah, 1, 2, 3 times on the 1 minute. So to leave it would be nice. Trading into the 10 a.m. opening price. Want to see us get some aggressive down movement here. If it's going to kind of maintain this bearish look to it. Just trusting this SMT as the reversal. It's a little bit extended TP of a trade. It is a 7.2R and I'm holding the entire way. So it is extended for sure.
I would watch for that 10 a.m. opening price though, because if we were going to get a continuation higher, I would assume it would be off of that, because that's also the 4-hour inversion.
Could you imagine I close it all at that 10 a.m. opening price and then it flushes in like 5 candles to the sell side?
Yeah.
Okay, I lied. I'm actually taking it off at 9:30 sell side. That's the TP. I'm gonna manage the trade though. Like I'm looking at the equilibrium for a partial and things along those lines. But a lot of my confidence is in it just absolutely flushing to 930 opening price.
This this hourly candle closes in 8 minutes,
The thing is,
which is nice. I'd like to see this hourly candle flip bearish.
I want to be partialing in discount, right? So I've got the range marked up from the 4-hour low to obviously this high here. If we got into discount, that's where I'm considering partials. So I guess I'd outline areas as partials. If I pull up the 1 minute chart, I'd want to be partialing potentially there in the first presented fair value gap. I'll make them green, I guess, for the sake of making money. I'll make them bigger so it can hit them easier. A little bit thicker. And then that first presented fair value gap. And then the 930 sell side. And then 6 a.m. 4-hour low. Not 6 a.m. low. It's actually an 8:15 low, but the 6 a.m. 4-hour candle, the low that it left. At break even, because if it's going to hold this 15-minute, it would run higher. Or if it's going to trade below 10 a.m. open and be bullish, it would take my break even, or take my stop loss. So that's where the break even's there. Expecting if it's going to be bearish to not trade there, but if it will be bullish to trade there to my stop loss, which is the safety of the break even in this case. I guess there's also internal SMT with that low. Looking at the little fair value gap we got here, kind of trading to that break even price. Could make that a different color maybe. So we're looking at ES, and it's got 2 minutes, or 1 minute, because that just closed that minute. And then we've got the 5-minute change in state. So yeah, I would want that. And then NQ looking at that premium 5-minute inversion, and to work lower to the discount. I'm expecting this market maker model to the original consolidation. So yeah, just gonna watch it close as we trade into this 15-minute and the 10 a.m. opening price. We do this 5-minute close here in 10 seconds. And we are not getting change in state on ES. That's all I was watching. Wow. We've got the 5-minute inverse though. So different thing. I'm gonna go over to my chart. I'm just gonna set up a partial area.
Actually, I'm gonna go trade an 8.
Yeah. So
I'm gonna go grab a little bit of coffee. Be back. I'm back. Looking at.
So we did trade to the 10 a.m. opening price there.
There we
Finally
go.
put in a wick of the 10 a.m. candle. Ideally, that's not the low of the candle, and we revert back to the highs. Hopefully that we
I'm gonna let the market
expand through this 15-minute gap.
Yeah, that makes sense. I'm just gonna let it do whatever it wants to do. Trading to that 15-minute, I'm expecting it to be used as a premium array, but on the bearish side. So we trade through it, then retest it. I want that to be used as a premium rate to send it lower. So I want to read it like that too, where I, would mark up maybe the consequent encroachment, see the invalidation of that, work through it, right? That's how I want it to be used. ES starting to get another down candle. This might be a very slow trade. Now, I guess I would look at the new candle, the new hourly opening, to be bearish and be a bit more aggressive. Opening up 11 o'clock just like yesterday, potentially. We've got 2 minutes there. Now, what would you look for a trade? Invalidating the 15-minute?
Well, I'd like to see this hourly. Like, here's the thing: if we would have got this exact structure, but at 9:50, and I'm like right before, like right around 10 a.m., and not had this extra like 50 points higher or 80 points higher,
50?
I would have been in on the 5-minute change in state. But because we inversed the 4-hour, and we've been expanding all morning, I need a little bit more. I'd for sure want this hourly to close in the next 2 minutes. And yeah, I'd want that 15-minute gap to get inversed, and then look to trade a continuation lower.
ES is very struggling to get that. Very struggling. That's not the right wording. ES is struggling to get that 5-minute change in state. It has not gotten continued displacement below it. I'm looking at NQ. We got this 1-minute fair value gap right now that we formed when we got through the low there. We are working through that very aggressively off of that 10 a.m. opening price. If I got taken out of break even, I could even flip my position in long to all-time highs. I'm strategically positioned, I guess, for both sides of the market. Because you could imagine that if we were bullish, we would deliver from this and run the highs up. If we were bullish. I'm theorizing here. We trade below 10 a.m. opening price. We have S&T. So unless we're invalidating the S&T and getting aggressive displacement coming into the new hour, then there would be potentially a long for people. I am holding the short side of it. A higher time frame, that is what I wanted to see. A little hiccup in the road, though, with the expansion off of open. But looking for the sell side of the market here. Would be expecting this as the original consolidation down here. This could be a higher time frame sell model. But like I said, us inversing this gap, running out, taking my break even is a bullish market. Hence the break even point. Like why I went to break even at that internal low. Because if we were to trade to 10 a.m. and then rally, I wouldn't want to be open there. So it's looking like it's going to be a break even here. Just when you have your, up to your break even in 3 candles, you're getting more volatility to one direction than the other. Doesn't she look like a long now?
Yeah, it looks more of like a long. I still don't think I'm going to take it.
Retested that 5-minute change in state one more time, which I said would be very unlikely. It did that, so I'm expecting the break even here.
We did get the 1 minute.
Okay, I got my break even right there.
1 minute change in state off of the S&T, the lows. It's the only entry I really see.
You know what it's looking like? You know, being in that trade and taking out a break even, watching it like really closely from the bearish perspective and seeing this invalidation makes me think that it's going to be 6 days in a row we take all-time highs. Put a new higher high in 6 days in a row. It would be just a continuation trade. I mean, like, you seeing the way we reacted off of the high, trading down to the 50-minute, and then reacted from there. There's not much argument for bearish right now. Could you imagine it takes my break even and then continues to dump?
Yeah. Be shitty.
Wow. It did so far do that. I'm looking at longs. Like, actually looking at them because there's SMT here. We've got the draw. Got the continuation model. Got a bit of overlapped confluences here.
Yeah, manipulated the 10 a.m. opening price.
It's a nice 2R to the all-time highs. I just don't like saying all-time highs. I don't like all-time highs today. I'm going to stick with what I said in the morning, and I'm not going to take the longs. I said I'll miss out on the long if it happens. So I suppose if we pump, I'll miss the long. It's fine. It does look very classical, though. It does look like a very classic continuation. Pretty clean 1 minute breaker.
Yeah, and that 2-minute gap's nice. That it traded to.
It's like it wants me to long. Yeah, it's like it really wants to make me long here. Taking me out of break even. Having SMT at those lows. Getting the freaking confirmation. Delivering a rate from that 15-minute, like, ooh. Are you taking longs?
No, I think I'm just gonna tape read it.
It's gonna play out and we're both gonna be like, shit, we should have taken it. That's the problem.
No, I just wasn't really my bias, and I don't.
Well, it could be now though.
Yeah, it could be
That's the thing.
could be continuation. I just I'm not a huge fan of the lows that we left.
The problem is it feels kind of like forcing the shorts now, the short buys now.
Oh yeah, the short bias is probably not going to play out just based on how that reaction off that 50-minute was with the SMT.
It feels like we'd be forcing the short buys. I mean, like not taking longs because there's those lows is forcing a bias.
It's also getting close to lunch, and we've just expanded all morning. So
Well, yesterday, this is 11 o'clock. This is when you were in your trade.
yeah, but I was in from
10:50.
way up there. Like I shorted before we got the expansion.
funny because this is like the model, right? You know that. I guess we had done most of that selling off yesterday by 11:06.
Well, the fact that NQ is the one that manipulated the low and formed the SMT and is now displacing higher with the most speed. So it's now the strongest asset.
How many points is that to all-time highs? I think because I had that short bias, it's making this long harder to take. If I had just the long bias, I'd be looking at this. That's why it's hard. The confliction of the biases. That's why I want to stick with the bearish one. But that, dude, the structure for the longs is so clean though. Like, can you not? Do you not agree that this is the model we always trade?
Yeah, this is what I look for a continuation. Yeah.
So we're missing it. Why?
Well, I just it doesn't align with my daily bias necessarily.
Well,
Like the low a day is okay. YM failed to take previous day's low. It has relative equal lows. Just kind of consolidated. Yeah, we did inverse the 4-hour, but
that's why I'm like, I want to stay bearish, but with the structure, like the 4-hour inverse, the retracement to 10 a.m. opening price with the pretty quick reaction SMT, it makes it harder, right? Because it's like, you know, instinctively you're.
well, I'm not saying I'm bearish. Though I'm just I'm not necessarily bearish because of what we're seeing, but I'm not going to take a long. Like this could totally run the highs up, but I just don't really expect this. It wasn't really what I wanted to see going today. And if the low a day was like, say YM manipulated previous day's low or something, and then we got the strong move up, then I could look to frame something. But yeah, just not something I want to take.
I guess I'm just gonna be sitting out in this one, so we'll see if we continue or if we reject off this internal high sweep, which would be SMT. It'd be a two-staged SMT if ES is taking it. That's what I want to watch because ES is relatively close. So I suppose that could be your manipulation on the hourly time frame. Then NQ could continue to be bearish, do its bearish things, potentially. Well, I had a lot of confidence in that short too. I was like, yeah, it's gonna go through that 15-minute. Should keep the trade marked out just to see what we do here. It is a 4-hour trade. I marked it out at a 4-hour trade.
Yeah.
So to not take that, and if it plays out, ooh, baby.
Yeah, if I was taking it, my entry would have been the 1 minute order block
Off
that we
and then
formed off of the 2 minute gap.
My stop loss would be in the 2 minute at that low. So for the sake of, I guess, not feeling bad about missing the trade, how about we actually continue with the shorts here? This would be kind of like the same reversal that we had yesterday. So if you just, instead of taking it, if 9 a.m., if 9:30 was like right at like this 10:50 time, kind of put this failure swing in here. S&T at the high. We have the move higher, the manipulation. I guess it's not quite as good, but to then work through this 15 minute would be good for shorts. Somehow, if the PM session was miraculous. Okay, so off of that S&T, we've got that little bit of a down move here. I think it traded to that 15-minute gap, so like it was super tight, super shallow. Traded to that 10 a.m. opening price too, just barely below it. It's not necessarily the best wick on the 10 a.m. candle, and the way it formed too. When do we pull the trigger on ending the live stream?
Yeah, we could.
No, I said when do we? But it sounds like you want to
Oh.
do it now.
Oh, yeah. Okay, wait. Actually, YM inversed its 50-minute gap as well
To the downside?
to the upside.
Well, we kind
Inversed its 50-minute gap.
of made it clear we're not taking longs because we are not in the longs.
No, I'm just marking that out.
Yeah.
Because I mentioned that earlier. Like, if we inverse that 50-minute, it'll be flipped.
Yeah. We just want to end the live stream before the long plays out and we didn't take it.
Good.
What?
Good, yeah.
Did you hear what I said?
Yeah.
As a kind of like a joke. We're not in the trade.
Yeah, let's do it.
You just
Well,
don't,
I'm not going to take anything here, so
you're not going to trade today?
I am not, no.
Okay, so we're
Are you trading?
if there's a good setup.
Okay, what would you be looking for?
Well, first we're going to need to see this 15-minute candle that we just had have a bearish candle following. So this 15-minute candle would need to be bearish for me. Closing.
Or you're looking for short still?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
I'm not longing. If we hold this internal SMT off of the hourly, Now we've got a new hourly candle. So if this is the wick, we've got SMT with the previous candle high. And if we start displacing lower, and if I could still target the same kind of sell model I was looking at before. I'm trying to see a 4-hour reversal. Just not expecting 6 days in a row to take all-time highs. That's what I'd look for. But we can end the live stream, unless you think you might take that too.
If I take anything, it would be later because I need a few more hard time candles to close.
You need a few more hourly candles?
No, I need like I for sure need this 50-minute candle to close to form that order block,
That's what I'm waiting for.
and then potentially something. But again, YM with that reaction off of the SMT to lows. SMT to lows isn't the best because it's a failure swing.
YM
We
Shmayam.
did inverse the 50-minute gap.
Well, yeah, we'll end the live stream. I guess what will be posted on the Twitters will be the final result of the trading day. I've updated my Twitter as we go through the trading day. I posted both trades. And then I said, yes, trade recap will be done. Okay, yes, we'll end the live stream. Just know that there's potential for shorts. And we'll catch you tomorrow, hopefully with a bias that delivers a little bit quicker.